introduced in 1996 for the 1997 model year in North America, the Montero Sport was Mitsubishi's midsize SUV offering that sat just below the larger Montero. Despite being in its third generation and known by many names, such as the Shogun Sport and Pajero Sport, the US market only saw the first generation vehicle until 2004, when it was replaced by the unibody Endeavor. The Montero Sport is a body-on-frame true SUV sitting on a fully boxed ladder frame with long-travel heavy-duty suspension and part-time 2-speed manually shifted transfer case with freewheeling front hubs. The Montero Sport was a serious contender in the off-road market despite its luxury trimmings for that era, I should say. Our Montero Sport was built at the Nagoya plant in the Aichi prefecture of Okazaki, Japan in December of 1999.
Hello everyone, today we are taking an in-depth walk-around review tour of this 2000 Mitsubishi Montero Sport. This is an XLS 4-wheel drive trim. It is painted in Cambridge red pearl coat over the Sudan desert beige. It does feature the desert tan leather interior. Its when new pricing is shown on screen and a full options list is in the description box below. It is a very well equipped vehicle. It's a nice surviving vehicle, although it does show some signs of age and wear, but we can get through all that.
As stated previously, our Montero Sport is 4-wheel drive, which utilizes a manual shift on-the-fly 2-speed transfer case with low gear and freewheeling front hubs. The Montero Sport features skid plates that protect the transfer case, oil pan, and fuel tank. Sitting on an 8.7-inch ground clearance, the vehicle features an approach angle of 29 degrees, a departure angle of 24 degrees, and a ramp breakover angle of 18.4 degrees. Power comes from the 3-liter single overhead cam, 24-valve 60-degree V6 engine. This engine is from the 6G72 engine family and is constructed of an iron block and aluminum heads with multi-port fuel injection and a 10.5:1 compression ratio. The engine creates 173 horsepower at 5,250 RPM and 188 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. The Montero Sport can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 10.1 seconds, with a quarter-mile time in 17.5 seconds at 79 miles per hour. The Montero Sport has a gross vehicle weight rating of 5,350 pounds with a curb weight of 4,260 pounds. The vehicle has a maximum payload capacity of 1,130 pounds and can tow a maximum weight of 5,000 pounds. The Montero Sport is equipped with a 19.5 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 6.7 gallons per 100 miles driven with an estimated total driving range of 292 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 14 miles per gallon in the city, 17 miles per gallon on the highway, with a combined rating of 15 miles per gallon. For the North American market, the sole available transmission is an electronically controlled 4-speed automatic with adaptive shift control. Rear suspension is multi-link and consists of a live axle with coil springs and gas-charged shock absorbers with torsion and stabilizer bars.
And as we take a look around the rear of the Montero Sport, pretty traditional SUV styling back here. It does have about mid-mounted tail lamps. And yes, this vehicle does have some dents and dings. It's not perfect. One thing I do love is this cargo cover or cargo accessory rack mounted to the roof rails. Just a huge locking basket. Looks really, really cool. Tail lamps are very simple. Amber turn indicators, brake lamps, and tail lamps, and reverse lamps. No rear fog lamps in this vehicle. You do have these red reflectors down the bumper that kind of look like those, but that's not what they are. And of course you have your Montero Sport badging back here. This is an XLS trim as stated before, and of course it is 4-wheel drive. Alright, and as we walk along the profile, a very elegant looking design, very rugged, upright, boxy styling. You do also have that huge roof rack on the roof rails, as it looks really cool. Looks off-road ready.
Steering is hydraulically assisted, variable rate recirculating ball with 3.8 turns lock to lock and a 41-foot turning radius. Wheels are 16 by 7-inch silver painted 8-spoke aluminum alloys shod in P2 5570, are 16 BF Goodrich Long Trail T8 Tour tires. Brakes are 4-wheel power assisted ventilated discs assisted by ABS. They can halt the Montero Sport from 60 miles per hour to 0 in 123 feet. Suspension up front is fully independent double wishbone with coil springs and gas-charged shock absorbers with torsion and stabilizer bars.
Alright, and around the front of the Montero Sport, very rugged design. Looks off-road ready, especially with that roof rack. You have these really tall side view mirrors to provide excellent outward visibility. You do have these wider fender flare appliques. Chrome trimmed halogen headlamps set in clear lenses with black bezels. Halogen high beam, low beams, and your turn indicators. And yes, the bumper is cracked a little bit. This vehicle has seen some wear and some use. And down below you do have your bright round fog lamps. Nice large grille opening. Overall, the Montero Sport is actually a pretty cool vehicle. Really cool to find one in this condition. Alright, before we get in, just a real quick look at the key. This is all we have for this vehicle, is just a standard key fob. It may or may not have had a remote keyless transmitter, but it does have power equipment group. So let's just go ahead and climb inside. And opening the door reveals a relatively nice interior, especially for the time. Leather upholstered seats with high adjustable head restraints. And taking a look at the interior, it is a two-tone interior. Two different types of beige or tan. You have this nice soft touch vinyl trim here. Got some hard plastics here. The sun-weathered plastic around the door handles and the door locks. You get door pulls here. And of course you have your power mirrors, power door locks, window lockout, and power window switches. A little door mounted speaker, tweeter speaker. And down here you do have a larger speaker. Molded mat pockets, entry illumination. And of course we do have the step bars as well, integrated into the frame to ease ingress. On the driver's side instrument panel, you do have your fog lamp control, your security minder, instrument panel brightness and dim, a dash mounted speaker down here. Here is your hood release, just underneath that speaker. Two pedals indicate an automatic transmission vehicle. You do have a nice dead pedal. Montero Sport branded floor mats. You also have a leather wrapped tilt steering wheel. And multi-function seat controls. They're not power operated, but they do have a plethora of controls. This right here actually will lift and lower the seat bottom cushion, much like a barber chair would. This is your fore and aft sliding This is your backrest adjust and your fuel door release. And taking a look at the seats are relatively comfortable. They're nice and supportive. Exactly what you'd expect for a 21-year-old vehicle. The leather has held up pretty well over time, considering it being a Mitsubishi of this era. But Mitsubishi actually made really nice cars in this time frame, and the Montero Sport is no exception. Alrighty, painted through the interior and show more details. As stated before, hydraulically assisted, power assisted steering with a leather wrap 4-spoke steering wheel. It is a very basic steering wheel. There's little to no controls at all, save for the cruise controls here. Got your horn, a very commanding horn. Alright, and multifunction controls over here on the multifunction controls over here on the left hand side is your headlamp controls and your turn indicators, as well as your high beam and flash to pass. Over on the right hand side is your wiper washer controls for the front and rear wipers. Instrumentation, I would expect it to have a little bit more instrumentation than what it does, but it's pretty complete for what you get. Fuel gauge, 120 mile per hour speedometer with a digital odometer that reads 137,604 miles. Your parental display right here in the center, 8,000 RPM tach, and a coolant temperature gauge, which I don't think works. I would like to see oil pressure and battery volts. Alright, moving over the top of the dash, as you can see, it's actually in pretty good shape. It's not split, torn, cracked, or faded, or even warped. It's actually held up very well over time. Even the defroster vent inserts still are in place. Alrighty, moving down the center stack, hazard 4-way flashers, rear window defroster, and your automatic transmission mode there. 2 large air vents. Simple to use climate controls. You got your temperature control here. Got your AC button here, recirculate, fan speed control, and your panel distribution. And moving down, aftermarket Pioneer audio system. You do have a small little covered storage tray here. Does not have the factory radio anymore. Cigarette lighter, ashtray, little storage bin here. Your transfer case 4 low range label. Aftermarket shift lever. I'd rather have the factory. Your 4-wheel drive and your shift lock label. Down the center console, you do have a real handbrake, 2 cup holders, 12-volt power point, and moving up, a padded center armrest, which opens up to reveal a nice amount of storage. Overall, considering the age and condition of the vehicle, I think it's actually held up very well over time. The interior is actually a pretty nice place to be. It's pretty comfortable. Alrighty, overhead we have an automatic dimming rearview mirror. It does have integrated digital compass and temperature. You've also got your clock, 2 overhead map lights, your power sunroof control here, padded sun visors with non-illuminated vanity mirrors. Sun visors swing out, but they do not slide out on extensions. And overhead you have non-dampened overhead assist handles. Rear passengers also have another assist handle there. You've also got high adjustable seat belts. Alrighty, now let's take a look at that rear seat. Nice wide opening doors. Rear seating for 3 back here. Take a quick look at the door trim. Similar to the front, you do have this nice 2-tone treatment with the padded vinyl. Everything else is pretty much similar to the front. You got your door pulls, door locks, window switches, speakers. No storage, but you do have rear ashtrays. Alrighty, and taking a look at the rear seats, they are a 60/40 split folding seat. They do have high adjustable head restraints on the outboard seats. However, this one's missing the right hand side one, but here is the passenger or the left hand side one for reference. Nice gathered leather material back here. 3-point seat belts for the outboard seats, but just a standard lap belt in the center seat. And overhead you do have assist handles, coat hooks, overhead lighting. And in the center, you have a fold-down center armrest with integral cup holders. Seat bag mat pockets do feature mat pocket storage. No rear ventilation controls or vents. And if you want to fold the seats, that's very easy. All you have to do is lift the seat bottom cushion up. You may have to take the head restraints out, but you can just lift this forward, and of course that will fold the seat flat. I believe the seats also recline. Yes, the seats are also reclining, which is a nice feature, something I did not expect. Alrighty, let's take a look at the luggage area now. It is just a one-piece tailgate. Right underneath the SUV in Mitsubishi is your liftgate release. And of course it is on gas charged struts. And here is the luggage area. It is a little bit dirty, yes, and I apologize, I did not clean it. I did not have time to clean it. This is how it is from the dealership. It's not been through detail yet. But there's actually a lot to show back here. There's some concealed storage here. And surprisingly, even underneath these panels here is more concealed storage where the tie-down hooks are. 4 of those. You've got some storage here. You've got some storage here, as well as your spare tire release. You've got storage here. You have storage here. A 12-volt power point. Last but not least, a cargo privacy cover. And to close the lift gate, just go old school. There you go. Alrighty, that does conclude our in-depth walk-around look at the 2000 Mitsubishi Montero Sport XLS 4-wheel drive. We hope you enjoyed the review as much as I had filming it. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrentSoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.